This video is brought to you by...
What's up, kings and queens? It's your girl, Charlotte Moore. As always, we give thanks for another day, you dig? So as the CEO and founder of Motivational More, we take pride in working with incredible creative entrepreneurs. And today, we are shooting a campaign for cool green clothing founded by the one and only AC Green. So the vibrational energy of this line is all about street vibes, a growth mindset, hustle. So today, we are highlighting this, guys, the Baltimore Cool Green Snapback. How cute is this? Look at this. So we're going to have so much fun on the shoot. And I'm telling you, follow cool green clothing. It's so important for us to support our entrepreneurs. There's so much talent in Baltimore. And as a creative entrepreneur myself, I know how hard it is. And I love to see just people going out there and going for their dreams. So let's get it. Bless up.
What's going on, YouTube fam? This your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of the Baltimore Way, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story and all the details in the case. For all the day one fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Let's get right into the story. Letting go of a relationship can be hard, especially if the feelings for that person are strong. It could cause stress, depression. Some even go as far as feeling like they have nothing else to live for. It takes two people to make a relationship work. And if one decides they are done, it's pretty much over. You can beg, plead, try to romance them back in. But in a lot of cases, a person is leaving for a reason. Acceptance seems like a hard thing for some people. The delusion of making something work with someone that doesn't want you. No matter how messed up we might feel the breakup was, you gotta understand, it's water under the bridge and time heals all. But in many cases, a man or woman refuses to give up, deciding to scare someone into taking them back, popping up at their job, house. I even heard of people pulling up to restaurants while a person is in there with their new love interest. To me, that's just prolonging the pain and adding fuel to the fire. Putting yourself in an emotional and angry mindset. Because at that point, you can physically see there's no love left for you in that person. My great grandmother used to tell me when I went through a tough breakup, it's girls at every bus stop, store, restaurant, all in the streets. Pick one and keep it moving. But some men feel like that's defeat and they can't stomach losing the control or power over a person. And on this episode of the Baltimore Way, we will be discussing the case of a man who snapped when he thought his ex was moving on. Back in 2020, 24-year-old Joseph Clark was in a relationship with a young lady we will call Tiff. Joseph had been dealing with a lot of tough things in his life, losing 2 siblings less than 5 years apart, so his girl was said to be the brightest thing in his life at the time. But for whatever reasons, Tiff decided she was done with the situation and wanted to move on in life. That crushed Joseph, who was already allegedly self-medicating. This sent the man into an even more downward spiral, trying to figure out how to get her back. He would constantly call, even pop up on her, causing the young lady to realize the breakup wasn't going to be simple, over and done. November 10th, 2020. Early in the morning, Tiff opened her apartment door to find Joseph standing there, stating he just wanted to talk, before forcing his way in the home, blocking the door so she was stuck. Scared, she locked herself in the room and called BPD. Joseph left before they came. For that attempt, Tiff was granted a protective order because Joseph showed up uninvited, snatched her phone as she tried to call her mother, and refused to let her leave. The order made Joseph even more mad, feeling betrayed. But the next day, Joseph flooded Tiff with text messages and phone calls, refusing to accept it was over. Tiff decided to ask a friend to give her a ride home from work the next morning. He was at the time 35-year-old Nathaniel Carter. Since it was clear she was in fear for her safety, Nathaniel agreed. It was on November 11th, 2020, about 3:30 a.m. As they arrived, Joseph was waiting in the cut, this time with a blick. As the two got out the car, shots went off, hitting Nathaniel before Joseph took off running. BPD was called to the apartment on the 4400 block of Plainfield Avenue, where they found the man suffering from being shot in the hip and thigh. He was rushed to Johns Hopkins Bayview, but on the scene was multiple shell casings that painted a picture of an ambush. As the investigation was starting, it was found out about 9 o'clock that morning. Unfortunately, Nathaniel didn't survive. With the protective order and previous incidents, BPD knew they were looking for a jealous boyfriend. That night, detectives headed to Joseph's home and took the young man into custody. In the interrogation room, he confessed to being enraged. He thought Tiff was moving on and just couldn't handle that. After hearing Nathaniel didn't make it, Joseph showed remorse, wrote the family a letter saying sorry, and a letter to Tiff as well. The young man was charged with first-degree murder, handgun violations, and other charges from previous incidents with Tiff. The next day, while in custody, Joseph allegedly called his brother from a jail phone, telling him where to find the blick he used as he hid it and to return it to the person he got it from in Parkside, Northeast Baltimore. Once the case made it to trial, the courtroom was packed, with Nathaniel's family on one side and Joseph's family on the other side. Joseph's family explained how he was a good young man, grew up in church, was taking college courses, and asked Nathaniel's family for forgiveness. Joseph's lawyer stated it was an act of impulse, as at that time in his life, losing siblings and self-medicating, Joseph couldn't deal with rejection. Nathaniel's mother told Joseph she didn't want the worst for him, but he could not imagine how they felt. Joseph spoke out, quoting verses from the Bible and asking for forgiveness. Prosecutors questioned his feelings because of the alleged phone call he made to his brother about the gun, which was never found. In the end, Joseph pled guilty to murder charges and charges related to Tiff and was sentenced to life in prison, all suspended for 40 years, to serve at Patuxent in the Youth Offender Program, which helps young offenders, and if you do good in the program, your time could be cut in half. Rest in peace to Nathaniel. I send my deepest prayers and condolences to the family. He lost his life trying to be a helping hand. I'm not sure how Joseph's and the young lady's relationship was going, but to my fellas and ladies, if they say it's done, it's done. Never chase someone who won't do the same for you. You take a life out of jealousy, giving up your freedom, and your ex still gets to move on in peace. In the end, you crash out over a breakup. You gotta be stronger than that. It's too many people in this world to let one get you on this type time. If you're going through this right now, the worst thing you could do is act off emotions or impulse. Trust me, it gets greater later. Keep your freedom. You can't do nothing from a cell. But yeah, man, crazy story. Rest in peace to Nathaniel. Bro ain't do nothing wrong. You know, even if they was seeing each other, at the end of the day, he dropping her off or he going to the house. It is what it is if she broke up with Joseph. But some people can't handle it like that, or they don't see it like that. And Joseph, man, he probably felt betrayed. He probably felt as though she was moving on too fast. Whatever the reasons was for him to snap like that, he threw it all away. Now you get life in prison. You took this man's life. You might have been remorseful for the situation. I'm sure he was, because he probably thought about what he did. But it's too late. Somebody already gone. You lost. They lost. You know, Shorty still out here doing her. It's not her fault either. Because at the end of the day, if she say it's over, it's over. You know, fellas, women, just got to take that for what it is and move on, man. But I ain't going to talk y'all head off. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Remember to be respectful. This is another episode of the Baltimore Way. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. It's all love, fam. This your boy Tony 2 times. I'm out.